All right, folks, and welcome back to the Slice. The second round is in the books, and the third round is set, and there are some amazing matches going to be had. I think this is the tournament where the third round really is where it gets heated up. Djokovic, Zverev, and Medvedev are all rolling. You know, they're rolling like the big three used to, where it's just like, oh, in these early rounds, it's just automatic victories. Zverev and Medvedev have even been having an easier time than Djokovic has. Djokovic, 2 down, 5 to go for the Grand Slam. Is he going to do it? We have to wait and see. He's been saying that, so we're going to listen to him. Canadians are rolling, wearing that in honor of them. I'm also wearing it in honor of Jenson Brooksby and his ridiculous grunting that we're going to get into, and we're going to get to the bottom of what's going on there. The U.S. Open coverage by The Slice is presented by Rally Tennis, our friends. Let's get into all this action coming up in round 3 here at the Open. Well, thanks for joining us again on The Slice, folks. If you're new here and you haven't met me, I'm Steven. This is The Slice. This is where tennis fans like you get your news, get your opinions. We all give our takes, our slices down below. So hit the subscribe button and click the like on this video. I appreciate it. The fans are why we do this, why we stay up late nights editing, giving you guys the coverage that you want of our tournament. So stay till the end for my thoughts on Jenson Brooksby's grunts, because they are preposterous if you haven't heard them. And we're going to talk about, is it a hindrance or is it cool? But what is cool is downloading the Rally app, the Rally Tennis app. It's the newest app where you can go online, find players in your area to practice with, join local leagues, compete in playoffs, dominate the local tennis scene, and you can get much better at tennis by practicing with players that are in your kind of skill set. You can meet up with them, figure out if they can play in the mornings or afternoons, search for players based on those availabilities. It's just awesome. So download the app now. The link is below for that. And shout out to Rally Tennis for supporting The Slice and being FERDA. Second round action, the second round of there wasn't that many great matchups in the second round, but that looks like it's changing big time in the third round. Djokovic looked a lot better in round 2 than he did in round 1. It was a weird match, obviously, versus Rune, because Holger Rune's an 18-year-old wrecking ball. Took a set off Djokovic, and then he got massive cramps. Djokovic looked a lot more shaky in that one, obviously. Might have just been the player. But he looked very good in this. His first serve was awesome, just so accurate, hitting about 123, 122 about every time, right on the line. Just so deadly. Like his serve looks as good. It looks like Federer's serve now, all of a sudden. Like, not all of a sudden. It's been getting a lot better recently anyways, but it's just such a weapon now. So that's good for him. Routine rematch for him against the young Greek spore. Zverev, dominant. He gave out a bagel. It was bagel time for Zverev. Mugs on the website, link below. Bagel time and a breadstick, and he gets absolutely destroyed. Ramos Vinolas, super casual for him. Medvedev destroyed Kepler. Wasn't even really a contest. He was kind of toying with him. Just super smooth from those guys. Like I said, they might have even had more ease than Djokovic has so far. But these matchups, they're all going to get better. Medvedev, though, on his bottom half of the draw, I would put like my life betting on him getting to the semifinals. And if you're going to bet at this year's U.S. Open, use Bet-O-Bet. They are our betting partner for this year's U.S. Open. It's an awesome platform. You can see all the odds live as they go, and that's where you can just have a little bit of extra added bonuses responsibly playing your game with the tournament. So thanks to Bet-O-Bet for supporting the show. So let's get into these round 3 matchups. I got like half my sheet highlighted here. Djokovic, Nishikori. Obviously, Djokovic has absolutely dominated Nishikori in their head-to-head so far in the career. They just recently played at the Olympics where Nishikori got absolutely bent and Djokovic just moved through easily. But the U.S. Open is Nishikori beat Djokovic back in 2014 at the U.S. Open to go to the final to then lose to Cilic. RIP. But Lord Cilic, as some people would say. But Nishikori's a super talented player. Djokovic is obviously much better. But this could be an interesting battle, and there is precedence for a big upset at the U.S. Open before. So that's an awesome matchup in the third round. Karatsev versus Brooksby. Karatsev came through in a 5-set match today, saving 2 match points. He's got a little momentum now playing Jenson Brooksby, who also came through in a super tight match against Taylor Fritz. That was insane. Just super high level. I think Jenson Brooksby versus Djokovic would absolutely be a super interesting match, because if you've noticed, guys like Greek sport who have a huge serve, huge forehand. They don't bother Djokovic. So it's not those types of guys. It's the guys who can craft the ball, play with him, hang with him on defense, and make him use pace. That's the guys that seem to hurt Djokovic more. That's like a Wawrinka. That's a Medvedev. Those types of players. Brooksby's that type of player. He's 6'4", and it would be interesting. So honestly, I see Brooksby coming through Karatsev, just because I see him frustrating him too much. And Karatsev has not looked, as good as he did back at the beginning of the year. That's for sure. Berrettini versus Ivashka. Ivashka's been playing super well. Berrettini hasn't been looking his best, but I think he's going to get his form back, and he might be a problem or a good matchup for Djokovic in the quarterfinals. That's expected. Then we got Zverev versus Jack Sock, who's making a comeback. Jack Sock's he's just making a comeback he's reborn. He's the reborn man, and he's coming back up through, and which is good to see. He took out Bublik today. That was a good, Bublik's technically 31st seed. So that's a good win for him. He's playing Zverev. That's going to be a more interesting match for sure for Zverev. I'm still taking Zverev big time. I just think he has too much sauce right now. As I've said on Twitter, if you're not following me on Twitter, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's where I'm tweeting 30 times a day. I'm making one video every 2 days. So get on Twitter, and I say, nobody on planet Earth is hitting the ball like Alexander Zverev is right now. That's just facts, if you ask me. Since the Olympics, he's been untouchable. He hasn't lost a match since the beginning of the Olympics. That's an interesting match. Then we got Monfils versus Sinner. That's an amazing matchup. Basilashvili versus Opelka. Opelka is hilarious. He had a great interview today at the U.S. Open grounds. He just seems like a interesting, cool cat. There might be something cool with him and the slice coming up in the future. That is to be determined, but also just keep that in mind. Luke Harris versus Denis Shapovalov. My guy, Denis Shapovalov, obviously Canadian, made it through today. Tight match, and then he started playing the way he can, which was awesome. Luke Harris is going to be a tough customer, as he has been. He's been playing super well, so that's going to be a tough one for Shapo. A little bit of a nervous one there. And then we got Rublev versus Tiafoe. That's an amazing one. Tiafoe looked great against Pela. Came through in 3 sets there. Just looking awesome. I think he actually has a pretty good chance against Rublev. He played good in Cincinnati, but Tiafoe can beat most players on tour, and I think he's the type of guy who could really give Rublev issues, as he's so athletic and good on defense, and obviously has the weapons on offense. So if he could beat Rublev, he can, he's either playing RBA or Felix Auger-Aliassime next, which is another amazing matchup. Our guy, FAA, this is a big match for him. I feel like he's got to win this match. I feel like he's having good momentum. He's actually the higher seed, so technically he's the favorite. And I'd really, really love to see Felix Auger-Aliassime, FAA, come through that match against RBA, who, as Opelka said, is like the house. He's like the baseline. He's like a pro's pro. If you're going to beat him, you have to play good. So FAA is just going to have to do that. And then Carlos Alcaraz versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. Stefanos Tsitsipas, he's been struggling a little bit on these courts with the speed. He served over 30 aces, though, I think, against Mannarino. So that could continue to become a massive weapon for him. He's going to be good against Alcaraz, but Alcaraz has got the firepower, and that's going to be an epic match to watch. So those are the kind of sweet matchups in the third round that I'm looking forward to. What I'm not looking forward to is hearing any more of Jenson Brooksby's grunts. I think they've been getting worse, and the commentators were saying how it's not like some of the women or some of the other guys who just grunt on every point and it's annoying, and we're just like, yeah, this is just going to be every point all day long. If you don't like it, don't watch. Jenson will not grunt on a lot of points, and then he'll yell on other ones. He hits the ball and then he goes, whack, I'm like, I don't know how Taylor Fritz wasn't getting super distracted by that. I was. I mean, that's probably why I'm not a professional in anything, because I get super distracted by an opponent like that. But it's super distracting. I would say it's hindrance. If I was the umpire, I'd be like, bro, you cannot just half tone. You can yell half that loud, but that's just crazy. And I don't understand how he does that on some points. He'll do it in the same rally. He'll go 3 shots not doing it, and then 3 shots doing it. Anyways, love the kid. Great competitor. Wears Womo Sports. Shout out Womo. Amazing American-made stuff. Check him out. And he looks great in it. I think it looks better than a lot of the Nike stuff, even though the Nike stuff is amazing this year. I will admit. But yeah, that's just whack. What do you guys? Let me know your thoughts on Jenson Brooksby's grunt. Let me know your thoughts on all the matchups. Also, Bianca Andreescu into the third round. She's never lost at the U.S. Open, so she's the U.S. Open GOAT. The all-time best record at the U.S. Open is Bianca Andreescu. 1 championship, 0 losses. Facts. So, anyways, that's my third round preview. Check it out. Thanks for letting your thoughts go below. Follow us on Twitter. Buy any of your new gear. Raph's new racket came out. You can get it for 10% off. If you want to get the racket and you're like, I'm going to go to Tennis Warehouse and buy that, don't do that, because you can just get it 10% off using our code at Courtside Sports. All that information is below. We will see you guys next time after the third round. Keep it real. We'll see you on the socials. Bye.